Having a little bit of a rough patch myself, not necessarily with trading, but look at my eyes. I have like bags under my bags. I haven't slept properly in like 2 weeks. I mean, when you were here, I was already complaining about being sleep deprived, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been really bad. I'm super excited just to get back to a place I can sleep through the night. I don't think I've had a normal sleep now for a while.
Yeah, that shit would add up fast.
So kind of like the opposite of what Danny was talking about, getting good sleep.
Yeah,
Feel
I'm
the
trying to
green twitch.
prioritize it. I slept okay last night. I think I was a little bit hot because I had a lot of weird dreams. Usually I'll have a lot of weird dreams if I'm too hot. And I woke up a bunch of times.
That's funny.
Let's see. Journal can't load, okay.
Yeah, that could be it.
Sitting at 66% recovery today, according to Whoop.
Nice, that's good. That's good. I mean, 66 maybe isn't great, but I
66 is okay.
okay.
66 is decent.
I woke up today and I was like thinking. I mean, it was bad sleep, but I woke up and I was like, this was probably one of the better sleeps I've gotten in the last 2 weeks. And then I look at my phone and it was like bad. It was just like your sleep quality was bad, and it was like,
That's funny.
and I was like, yeah, that basically summarizes. I mean, if today was bad and this was one of my better nights, then like I don't even know what the other one looked like because I didn't wear my watch. That's kind of where I'm at. I got a flight. Let's see here, in like 50 minutes. So, or not in 50 minutes, but I gotta roll out of here in like 50 minutes. So I'll be a little bit tight on time.
It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
How's you guys' weeks going?
I can quickly start. Well, yesterday I was slightly green, the end of the day red. I kind of had like kind of like a red to green. I was started red, green, then went red, then went green, then went red again, and then I just kind of called it. I just didn't have much flow, and then right after I called it, we had some amazing movers. But again, yesterday was tough. You know, I again the sleep, I was really on edge, like where I'm basically feeling it, where like I could laugh and then cry at the same time. I don't know if you guys ever felt like that, but that's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's really bad. And then yesterday I was trading in the kitchen. I had like 4 people around me. It was just very chaotic, and I kept missing trades. And I was like, today I had a better scenario. I had a better like situation. I was able to trade in my friend's room with the screen, but I wasn't really mentally there. So that's kind of how my week's going. I'm basically down like $100, which is in my mind almost green, because I feel like I avoided a lot of traps. It's a little bit frustrating because today and yesterday we had some really good movers, and I feel like I could have really done well if I was just a little bit more dialed in. Hopefully the rest of the week we have some more smooth sailing. I would like to, really nail a few moves. I feel like I'm right there. Like I'm so close. I've been sizing well. I've been getting more aggressive on the breakouts, avoiding the nasty pullbacks. I'm doing a lot right, but it's hard to perform at even close to like 70% in my current situation. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. There's almost not much more to share than that, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, my week's been pretty bad too. I don't know, man. I swear, every single time I spend like a really long amount of time trying to study, I just trade like shit. I don't know why. Like, it's like I can only go so far on the analytical side, and then it has to just come from me. And I don't know how to do that. But I kind of wrote down, like, I was looking through all my playbooks and trying to figure out like the similarities between my strategies, and try to like not have so many different strategies happening at the same time. And I like lined them up on my desk in sticky notes. So I have like the first setup that could happen on the day is like an open imbalance, and then the second one is an opening range, and the third one is an opening range hold, and the fourth one is like an intraday continuation. And I have like parameters for each of those setups And yesterday they worked perfectly, but like I just didn't trade it well at all. So I lost on like all of them. And then today it's just this, if you look at the SPY, I mean, yeah, let me just pull this up because it's just disgusting. Look, I went short down here because this was the 15-minute opening range breakdown trade. Stopped out. It spikes out all the shorts and just dumps immediately. So that was right idea, bad timing. Same idea here. Short. This was a 30-minute opening range breakdown. Stop out at the very top, come right back down. Then I was like, you know what? Let's go long. Let's try that. Maybe that'll work. Go long, make like half my losses back, and then comes back down. I try to get the same entry long, stop out at the very bottom, rips back up. And then now I'm just shorting basically this range because it's just stuck in this level, and the Volt and the add and the tick are not really going anywhere. And it's probably going to continue lower, but it's like, dude, the market is not nice this week. Not nice at all.
No,
It's stopping me out like right before I'm right. And you'd think that like we don't have data this week, that we don't have any data besides just Fed's talkers. They're just talking all week, and like JP is talking Friday, but besides that, there's literally nothing happening. Well, I guess there was OPEC, like oil stuff happening, but wow, it's like I don't even know what to do. I guess I just need to still make sure that whenever my trades don't work, I still follow my system, and I just do that every day, no matter what, even if it's annoying that I lose. And I need to remember that like all of these strategies will have a win rate. They're all going to have their own risk reward. And my job is to trade the system and then use discretion whenever I feel necessary. And I was thinking the other day, like, as like retail traders, people always call us like discretionary traders because you're supposed to use your discretion to trade, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're not doing algorithmic trading. Like we're actually putting the orders into our broker. So it's like a discretionary choice of when you want to take your order. But I think we take that too far. At least I do, where it's like you can either be fully discretionary, where you're trading only off your like intuition and stuff like that, which I am terrible at, or you can be fully systematic with like a touch of discretion, you know? And that's kind of how I want to be. Like I want to have all of my setups be defined. I've been saying this every single week, but all my setups be defined. And then whenever I use my discretion, that's whenever I'm like using the intuitional part of it, but I still want everything to be mostly systematized. So like, I know exactly my entry criteria. I know exactly my exit criteria. Yeah, I don't know, but I tried that today and it's not working. So at least I'm still small, very small red, but it's tough, man. Trading is hard. Why is it so hard?
Yeah. What you said a minute ago about like the more you study, the worse you do, I think is really interesting because I've definitely gone through that phase as well. And
Tell me in there.
I think it's so typical if you're having trouble in the market or going through a rough patch to want to be doing something active to like improve your trading. And you can feel like studying more, studying price actions, studying patterns, volume, whatever it is a good move towards that. But having gone through the same thing, I think you probably know that like, you know what you need to know, and past that, it's just experience in the market and getting yourself into a good streak. Like the reason that most traders fail isn't because they don't have the knowledge. It's because they, for whatever reason, aren't taking positions and managing them appropriately. And I think like even very advanced profitable traders, we go through the same thing. We have drawbacks and drawdowns and go through periods of cold market or just like moves in the market that aren't your best moves and your best setups, and they can be really difficult to trade. And like you want to be, it makes total sense that you would want to be doing something active to like improve yourself and improve your trading during that time. But like I think more than anything else, it's just like market conditions and just adapting to them. Like for a very beginner trader, yeah, they probably don't know or have as much just general knowledge of what's going on as they could have. But if you've been trading like a year, 2 years or so, I think that what you're going to learn from like a book or that kind of thing is limited. I think that you can definitely learn from studying current price action and patterns and what's working and what is not, you know, literally just adapting to what's happening in the market right now. But yeah, just getting yourself into a different phase or getting yourself out of the rut is definitely the most important thing, and also definitely the hardest, which was like all last year for me. So yeah, a lot going on with that.
I feel like the hard part for me is that I go on so many streaks. Like it makes no sense that I'll be green for like 2 weeks and then I'm red 2 weeks and I'm green 2 weeks and I'm red 2 weeks and I'm green 2 weeks and I'm red 2 weeks. And it's like, that happens every single month, like without fail. And I don't understand. Like even yesterday, like I had like a decent red day and I was like, I guarantee, like I just knew right off the bat, I was like, here we go, starting, you know, here's the drawdown, here we go. I'm just ready to go for it. And I know it's going to happen. And obviously that's a terrible mindset to have, but it's like every fucking time this is what happens. So
yeah, I think that's really interesting because like you think about riding a bike, or I don't, Alex, I think you mountain bike some. I don't know if you do too, Colby, but like you're flying through the trees, you're going downhill on a narrow path. You see the tree in front of you, you see the road curving. If you're just looking at the tree, you're going to hit the tree. It's that same kind of mentality. And I feel like I had a close call 2 weeks ago, or whenever it was that I had my first red day in a while. The other week, it reminded me so closely of last August. Last August, the first week of August was super hot momentum. I was up like 11 grand after the first month, and then, or the first week, and then I had like an $8,000 or a $9,000 red day. And then all April I was green. I had some solid days, couple first days of May. The first Friday in May, I had an almost $5,000 red day, which luckily at this point is like not massive. Like obviously it's pretty solidly big, much bigger than other red days I've had this year so far, but not like world ending. And I was really conscious of like the similarities between August and now, and just like, all right, because then after that red day in August, I had like 3 red months of terrible trading. And so I was just super conscious, not specifically like focused on that red day, just really focused on being patient and taking good trades and not letting that happen. So I was focused on, I think, the right things to be focused on, which was getting good entries, taking good trades, waiting and being patient, rather than the fact that I had just had a big red day. And I think that that was really helpful for me.
yeah, that's such a hard balance to have, because it's like,
Yeah,
in a way, that's like such a, I mean, that's with everything in life. You have to trust that you can achieve, right? Like you have to, that I mean, obviously I wouldn't consider myself a professional trader, but I like to pretend, obviously, and think like I am one. So I act like one. And a professional trader does not give a fuck at all about the result of the trade. They only care about what is the next opportunity. Like, what are my next 100 trades? I don't care about the last trade I took. I care about the next 100. And how do I perform those in a way that is in line with my statistics and my trading that I've done for the last, year or 2 years or lifetime, whatever. And it's even like poker too. Like I've been playing poker a lot, and it's just so funny how often you get a bad beat. It's like, I have pocket aces, and then, or I have even worse, I have pocket kings, and then the guy to my left has pocket aces. And like, usually you're going to go all in on the before you see any cards, because that would be your highest EV, positive expected value, and with pocket aces. And then right on the flop, it'll be like a king or whatever. And it'll just, you're like, wow, I had a fucking like 85% chance of winning this, and I lost. And then you have to keep playing. And then the next hand, you're like, all right, well, I'm raising this hand, even though I have 7 deuce, and it's a terrible positive. It has no expected value that's positive. And then you start playing poker like shit too. And same thing with trading, you know, like today I get short 2 times, I get stopped out at the very top, and then it goes right back to where I thought it was going to go anyway. I have the right idea, wrong execution, and the only thing I can do is just be like, okay, well, I guess I got to sit here and just wait for my next setup to show up. And then that one shows up and then I fucking lose on that one too. And it's just like, wow, I don't know. You really have to act almost like a robot and just let everything go as it happens. But I mean, I think that we're all doing that and just shortening that distance every day. Like the amount of time it takes for you to get on tilt. You know, when you first start trading, it's like you get on tilt immediately and then it lasts like 4 hours. You know, as every day that goes by, you take like a minute off of that 4 hour window, and then eventually you're on tilt for 1 minute, you know, a year, 2-3 years later. But
it's always super helpful for me to do anything else. Like I'll take a bad trade or I'll have a red day or whatever, and I'll be kind of pissed off and I'll go to the gym, and like 30 minutes into my workout, it's a different day.
Yeah. I was also getting on tilt a little bit today. I had kind of what Colby was saying, where, you know, you have the right idea, you get stopped out a few times. For me, I hesitated. I made some amateur mistakes, and then you know, and you miss the good move and you trade the move that's a little bit worse later on. It's something we talk about so much. I don't really want to dive into it. Again, I think I know my problem right now. It's just I'm tired, and I think what for me, what I need to do on sometimes days like today is, you know, just maybe not even trade. Like I was thinking Monday, you know, the market's heating up right now, but sometimes you're not in the environment where you should be trading. And I think it's better to fully engage in your environment, be there 100%, than kind of 50-50. And that's a little bit what I squirmed through yesterday and today even. So, you know, if we do upload this one, because it's going to probably be a shorter pod, you know, if you're ever wondering if you should just fully engage on a certain activity, I don't know if it's New Year's, if it's some birthday or something like that. For probably the last 2 years, I'm almost always advocating to just fully enjoy whatever you need to do in your life, and then, you know, get back and fully trade, be fully present in your trading. Sorry.
We were just talking about that same thing. Jess's mentor session this morning. He does a trade workshop, trade review, mentor session every morning. And that was exactly what they were talking about, was living life. Basically, Jess is a business owner, multiple business owner, as well as a day trader. And he was talking about just the distinction between, do you own this business or does this business own you? And sort of getting into like the point of life and why we day trade, which generally people looking to day trade, you're looking for more freedom and being able to earn money on your own terms, just from like the internet and a Wi-Fi connection. And you always have to keep that in mind. I'm going to Italy for 3 weeks next month. And last year when I went to Italy, I was alone for most of it, and I was totally on my own schedule. Most days I went out, did stuff in the morning, got a workout in, came back in around like 2-3 p.m. right before the market opened, traded for an hour or two, and then went back out and did stuff. This time I'm going to be with my girlfriend, and I'll be with family for a few days, but I'll be with my girlfriend for the whole time. And she's pretty on board with like that general schedule, but I know that I'm going to have to accommodate other people's schedules a little bit more this time. And luckily I've had a really good year so far, so I'm like not too worried about just like losing money or missing out on a ton of stuff next month. I hope that next month isn't super hot and I don't just like miss all the hot momentum, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to be in Italy, and like this is the point. So and I kind of had the same sort of realization or moment back in December, January, when I was visiting family, where like I wanted to be like around the family. So I took my computer into the big open kitchen, and I had my headphones in, and I was day trading the market open while like people are making breakfast and like getting the table ready for us to all have breakfast together. And it was just like not the right environment. And I agree, like you can't whole ass, or you can't half ass 2 or 3 things. It's way better just to whole ass one thing. So like decide that you're going to have breakfast with everyone, or stay upstairs in your room alone until you're ready.
Yeah. Or else you're
And
going to be upset, and you're
yeah,
going to become
exactly.
upset. It's going to create a bad environment. I've had
Yeah,
many
like
moments
families
like
trying
that.
to talk to you and like that kind of stuff. And obviously, because like you're
You're in the
physically
kitchen.
literally there, and I'm like taking headphone out. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
So
that's funny.
yeah, just being aware of what's going on and just take a step back and try to see like the bigger picture, I think is a good key, especially when we're having a tougher market. Like it's not that big of a deal. It'll come back around.
Yeah.
You're not going to be red forever,
And if it's really good,
probably.
you know, it almost comes back to the expected value equation again. It's like, hey, what are you going to get more value out of? Are you going to get more value out of those 500, maybe $1,000 you're going to make here trading in the morning, or maybe losing money because it's maybe not the greatest market? Or do you think this, this ski trip or this breakfast or this whatever, you fill in the blank
Yeah.
for the next couple of hours that overlaps is more expected value in your other pillars of life, And you got to make that decision. I'm reading David Goggins' biography right now, and he is so anti-multitasking. And this guy's like ultra best everything, it feels like. And he just says, multitasking is like for idiots, people that have like no direction in life, blah blah blah. And that's he always takes things to the extreme, and I get it, like it works for him. But I think that applies to many of us. Like for me, I can't multitask for the life of me. So why do I even bother? And so I think taking yesterday off probably would have made more sense. I would have been able to maybe sleep in, and then guess what? I probably would have been doing better trading today, and then I would have been better off. So I need to be better at that. I think sometimes, especially with friends, I'm a little bit of like a yes man, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, let's do that, or let's do that. I have to be really, really disciplined, especially with sleep. I mean, oh my God, I was sleep deprived. I was this week. I don't think I've been this sleep deprived since the last time I was in New York City. So I don't know what the city, but it's not okay. Not okay at all. Hey, actually, if you're in Italy, I wonder if I can come down there. I don't know. We could talk about it.
Yeah. So we're landing in Rome, and then we're going to Florence for a few days. And then my sister's getting married in Tuscany. So we're going to go out to Tuscany for a few days. And then I'll be going up to Bologna, then Lake Garda for a night. We'll be in the Alps for a few nights, Venice for a few nights, and then back out of Rome.
Those are all amazing areas. I've been to them.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty quick schedule. So maybe it'll be difficult, but, I was actually just Tuscany for a wedding myself last year.
Oh, really?
A bunch of friends that visited the wedding or went to the wedding. We just rented like this bigger villa. Had like multiple bedrooms and like huge kitchen with a huge dining table. We all like co-worked there, and then like went to the wedding, went back, and we did pool. So it was just like 2 weeks. We rented the place, so it was really good fun to work.
That's awesome.
A little easier to like make a schedule, but yeah, I think you'll have an amazing trip for sure.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
But I was thinking back, what Colby was talking about, kind of being this frustrating back and forth phase. And I gotta totally say, like when I study too much, it usually creates problems because I overthink things. I just recently took the MACD off my chart. Sometimes I still like to look at them on a different chart, but there's just one more distraction. Ultimately, I had a call, a little one-on-one with Toby, and we were just talking pure price action. And like we were like, okay, what's the 5-minute chart doing when the 1 minute's breaking out? Are we over the former close? And like really simple price action stuff to indicate like this is the right side of the V, more or less to say. And, you know, we just ripped a lot of fluff out of our charts. And then we even did further was like, okay, how do we make the ladder even bigger on our screen? How do we put the 9 EMA into our ladder? Like little things like that, that were just like purely, let's create more focus on the few things that actually matter to us, as opposed to let's add more to our chart and try to, you know, use different indicators. Oh, that was weird. My hand just went up.
You just switched sides. There you go.
It's because that is like this. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can literally. Okay, yeah. If I hold it there long enough, it starts charging, and eventually it uploads it.
Are you serious? That's
Yeah,
so
try
funny.
it. You'll see at the bottom of the screen, it'll be like charging. Do you see that?
No.
No. Anyway,
you just got me to raise my hand.
Wow, Danny, you're so dumb, bro. You
No.
fell for it.
no, I swear it's working on my end. It's on the,
I swear.
on the reaction side, it starts like loading a circle and like starts filling it in blue. Whatever, not important. Anyway, the point is that overthinking is very dangerous. Colby, I know when you were here, you had a lot of stuff from the VOD. I always say that wrong.
Bold. Yeah.
Bold. I want to say like void or something, and then I'm like, no, it's not that. To you know, risk on, risk off indicators, which I think are all good, and I use a lot of indexes as well, just to kind of give me a flow for the market. But that could maybe be sometimes something that throws you off, like, oh, maybe this indicator is saying this, the other indicator is saying that. I know with the MACD that really threw me off. So just kind of ripping it down to the bare basics could help.
I don't like using the MACD.
Yeah.
I think that it's an okay indicator if something is sort of just like ranging, but once it starts doing something unexpected, either to the upside or the downside, it's not helpful. And
it's too late. It's a rear view.
Yeah, it's too late. Obviously, it's a lagging indicator, but it's way too late. And like, I would never use the MACD to be able to take a big trade, because that's when the unexpected happens, which is where you have to be able to read levels and price action and time and sales, which are like the only leading indicators that might be telling you that a big move is coming up. So like, if you're using it just to understand, like, this push up this is what the MACD looked like in terms of divergence and momentum on that move. This move was a little bit slower, so like, we're kind of obviously losing momentum, then it can tell you that, but it's not like you can't get that just from looking at the chart.
Yeah. Chart is everything, literally everything.
Yeah.
Well, the time and sales as well for us. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to, like, obviously the playbook stuff, and like whenever I'm making the playbook, I'm literally throwing everything in there, like every possible thing that would contribute to this trade working or not working. And then every day I'm updating it based on the setups that happen that day. And then every day I'm realizing more and more that like the things I'm looking at matter less and less. So like yesterday when I was studying, I was looking at everything and I realized that the only thing that actually matters for me is, are the volume delta, the ad, and the tick, are they trending in the same direction? And that's it. That's the only thing that really should matter. If that's happening first, then I can go to what time of day is it and what setup will happen at this time of the day. So like at the open, if the volume delta opens green, I used to think, oh, that's a good thing. That doesn't matter. It only matters where it's trending after it opens. So like yesterday, here's a interesting example, but
you know, we're listening. Danny just got attacked by a fly or a moth or something.
Yeah.
this is
Did you
an
see that?
interesting
Yeah.
So like I just wrote a little update of like this strategy, and this is just an open imbalance strategy where you can see how this is going to be tiny. You can see how the volume delta in this little red box is trending lower, even though it's green, right? But for the first 30 minutes, it was trending down. The advanced decline line was trending down. The tick is trending down.
Yeah.
All of the sectors are trending lower, and they have big sellers right at the open. The NASDAQ was moving lower. And then this is how you could have traded it. So we broke below the previous day close. We had a 15-minute opening range. We pull up to a key level, which is the previous day close. This is also the pre-market low. They're at the exact same line. And then you scalp it short and you take profits at the break of low of day. And that's the whole strategy. And then that was only based on the trend of those indicators though. And then the same thing with like intraday continuation. You could see after that morning, this is the same day, after that morning drop, we started to trend back up. Same with the advanced decline line trending up. The tick was just neutral. And then you can see risk on clearly is all green. Risk off is clearly all red. Financials are all green. So then same exact thing. Where do you get in? These are all the possible trades you could have taken. Like we're holding above previous day close right here. You could have accumulated on the previous day close. This is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bottom hold. And then it breaks out really nice, you know? So like I'm trying to, I have such a fucked up thing where I feel like every day, if I'm not doing like a lot of work with trading, that I'm going to fall behind because I know that like, I just know there are people out there that are putting in way more work than me and making millions of dollars. Like I see people on Twitter, like the Short Bear, and he posts like these analysis of like trading setups that are just, they just blow my mind. It's ridiculous. Like he'll post this thing and it's like, this is a 63% win rate on this strategy. Here's a chart of every single time it's ever worked in the last 100 years and doing all this crazy stuff. And obviously I'm not like a mathematician. I don't know how to do all that shit, but, yeah, like you were saying, Alex, like I'm trying to break it down even more simple. Like every time I go back into my playbook, I'm trying to like take something out. So it's like just not as complicated. And I just follow that system.
I guess the only thing I would add is don't overstress yourself, because in a way, this is a new strategy because you just kind of added a lot of new things. So whenever you add a new indicator or whatever, it takes a while to understand the flow, the patterns of that one. So you just need to, kind of get used to the new layout and not switch it up so much going forward, or like, maybe switch it up. But
that's why I was saying
any new thing you have to get used to.
Like before, I used to care more about what the values are of the tick and the advanced decline. Like I would see the advanced decline and I'm like, oh, it's at negative 1600. That's important. But as I'm reviewing, I'm realizing it's not important what the values are. It's important what the trend is of those indicators. And if they're all lined up, like most of the time they're not lined up. The advanced decline line will be going down, the volt is going up. Obviously, if that's happening, you don't take a trade. But if they're all trending in the same direction, that means the momentum is going to be pushing in that direction, because these are all based off of like hedge funds, basically, because they're the ones moving the market. So
trending or divergence. Yeah, exactly.
So that's like a new thing that I've been trying to look at, but we'll see.
What's up, Tom? Yeah, your mic is off.
What's that?
Your mic was off. How's the car?
Yeah, I'm muting myself just in case the wind is getting in the mic. But yeah, I'm just at the dealership right now, just getting the recall done. So jumped in a little late.
No, all good, all good. Happy you made it. What's getting recalled on your car?
Apparently the seatbelt pretensor for the new Hyundais. So it took like 2 months. I had to like book it 2 months in advance.
Wow.
Because I guess every single car that was sold had to get recalled. So everyone's trying to book their appointment.
Yeah, that's brutal.
So yeah, but that's it. Nothing new. Had a pretty decent day this morning.
I saw it's amazing.
Well, I got some small wins on APLD and MICS. MICS probably the best. There are two like perfect setups right after the halt resumption. You got that break of 2, and then after that, that first 1 minute pullback that resolved in a new high. That was probably the next best setup after that. And then you had I got what was that other stock? APLD. Yeah, APLD.
APLD.
Maybe late morning. You had that break at pre-market high, which is also really nice. So those are sort of my 3 trades that I had this morning.
Nice. Yeah, the breakouts have been beautiful. I had some really nice big winners, decent size. And the problem is like if you keep chasing the move, the pullbacks are like insanely disgusting. So I gave back a few times too many today. Still ended
I'm just
green, but
reading
it
some
could
of
have been
the.
yeah, much greener day. How are you handling, Danny, some of these moves?
I was really patient today. Yesterday I had a really good day, but I traded a lot. I started the day yesterday down 14 or 1500, actually trying to short GSIT because GSIT yesterday morning halted down and was just like threatening to continue that. So I started shorting it and it was bouncing from there, and I got super chopped up until I was down 1450 on it. And then at that point, I switched to going long and I made 2300 on it long. And then I flipped short again after it rejected high of day a couple of times. And then I made half of my loss back shorting from what I had lost earlier. So I had a solid day eventually, but I started the day pretty decently solid red. And then I caught a nice chunk of OMH before I went to the gym. And then I caught a nice chunk on ELOX yesterday after the gym when it had that late day, end of day squeeze. So coming into today, I was just really conscious of like not over trading and being patient, and it really helped and saved me because like a lot of people were really solidly red today trying to chase. One thing I've noticed is the gappers lately, the leading gappers have been awful. And like GDC this morning, if you look at it, it hit a high 757, and then in the next minute it was at 661. And I actually started buying into the bottom of that candle. I can show my screen.
Was this pre-market or at the market open?
Market open. I have been avoiding pre-market as much as possible lately because it's been terrible. But here's GDC right at the open. I didn't trade this. I was looking at APLD, or I was looking at something else. I don't remember what. But I looked over here and I saw that GDC had just rejected and was just absolutely knifing, and it was chasing the halt level down on this candle, which is actually where I started buying in, because I saw the halt level down on my level 2 here, and then it bounced hard, and it just seemed like it was finding a bottom and unable to keep going lower. So I took that position at like 637 or something like that with 2,500 shares. And I was like, I know that if this keeps going, I need to bail quickly. But if we're finding a bottom here, there's a lot of room for upside. And I didn't get like a ton out of it, but I got a solid 20 cents. I was up like 500 right after that move.
Amazing.
So that was nice. And then I was just really patient aside from that. And I didn't trade it here. Once because it rejected hard. It rejected hard, rejected. Once it started coming back up here again, this is where I started trading it. Because it's like, how many times is it going to reject before it finally goes higher? Like, it's only going to reject so many times before someone has conviction. And we started seeing more volume coming in. And then over this level here, I don't know where my trades were. Actually, I can take a look at it. I can share. Maybe I can share.
This was really nice when it broke higher.
Yeah, give me just a second and I'll share my whole screen, and you should be able to see everything now, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is DOS, my DOS charts, which I don't use them as my main charting, but I love using it to show
entries and exits.
Yeah, because it shows them so nicely, so much better than Thinkorswim.
Yeah. Yeah, much better.
So here's that move up where we finally started going higher, and this is where I started getting in. So I started buying here, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, So like, I'm not trying to buy the actual trigger, because the trigger would be here. I'm not trying to buy that and like expect it to go higher. I'm buying sort of the bottoms of the candles and selling into that level. And then finally we broke over it and we're starting to really move. So I bought here, sold, bought, sold. And then we finally had that kind of rejection candle where I bought the bottom, sold, bought, sold going into the halt. And that's where we actually had like some real moves. This was my best trade on it. Was we had just halted. This is, you know, nice short squeeze. And then once we get up here, the shorts have been squeezed. This is basically just longs managing their positions and buying and selling and not knowing if it's going to go higher. And then we have this attempted dip, which got bought up. So
Amazing, yeah.
yeah, we had this attempted dip, which is where I got in, actually at 941, I think. And so we had this squeeze, we had an attempted rejection or dip back down, which I bought up. And then
That entry.
usually when this happens, it'll pop back up towards highs, but then especially if it can squeeze through highs and squeeze through these wicks, like this is a really clear point for shorts to stop out, and it's a trigger for longs to buy. So I scaled out into that, nearly got a top tick on some of it, it looks like. Added just 500 shares. So this was like, I think this was 1,000 shares, which is still kind of small size for me, but I was just being conservative. Added half size there, sold on that bounce and was just out at that point. So I traded that really well, but I was really patient for it. Like you can see on my orders here, I have 150 filled orders. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in that one trade. And only 21 canceled orders on a normal day. Lately, that's been looking like 300, 350 filled orders, like 100 canceled orders, which is just a lot more than I want to be doing. So I'm really pretty happy with how I traded today, and kind of took it from yesterday and last week and how I've been kind of just like over executing. And I was able to do better today with that.
How do you do your scaling? Like, are you entering with your max size and then you scale out as you become correct and then you add again later with their core still?
Pretty much, yeah. So I take my first position with generally my main size. Lately, I haven't really been adding just because we haven't really been seeing moves that call for adding. But like, this is a pretty good example. I took my core position here. I scaled out at the area where it makes sense to scale out some, and then I held the rest for the move higher. And then once we kind of came back and retested a level, I added back half the original size. So I had 1,000 shares. At this point, I had like 600 or 700 shares after that add, and I got another like 15 cents or so out of that. So like what I could have done here, I guess, is sold some, and then as it looked like it was going to break out through this level, I could have added. But I was just feeling more conservative today, I guess.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm not trying to like swing for home runs right now. I'm trying to mostly protect my account and lock up some gains.
Yeah.
So that's doing well for me. But yeah, like there's a couple different approaches you could take. I think it would have been really valid to have taken profit here and then added back the same size that I had here. And then you just have to know, like, if it doesn't go right away, I'm going to stop out for like 3 or 5 cent loss on that ad, and that's fine. But so that was GDC. I traded MICS as well, and I was up a couple hundred on it, and it just didn't hold up. And I was trying to like get in for a pullback for the move higher, and it just didn't come. And so now I'm up $29.99 on it, so I can afford like really cheap Bluetooth headphones from that one.
Chipotle with double chicken.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
good.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think that my tickers and my P&L on them today are a pretty good example Like I took some stabs here, didn't really work. One trade here, one trade here. I'm not trying to like keep trading stuff except for this one. This was like a 1 or a 2 trade loss on small size. And if you look at OMH today, just got absolutely demolished. So yeah,
Oh my god.
someone
Crazy
wants
backside.
this to go down to 0. Like this is, what is OMH? It's not a China company, is it?
Dude, that is a
That's
trend.
algo. That's an algo trend right there.
It's trading like a China company that goes from 5 to 57, then back down to like 2. So like to be down 240 on it, not a big deal at all. I'm happy with how I managed that.
Totally okay.
I took it here, somewhere around here, with the potential break of like these wicks and potential to go higher. Because yesterday, like we have plenty of range from yesterday. So I took that with 100 shares, which is like very small size for me. So I'm happy enough with taking that trade, and then especially how I managed it.
I would
but
love
yeah.
to see the guy who like is selling that. I just want to watch what's happening on his screen,
Yeah, like how much money he's making.
or just how much he's losing trying to dump it, or whatever's going on. I would just love. I always think like when I put an order in the market, I'm like, dude, what if you could just see the order flow from a market maker perspective? That'd be so interesting.
Yeah,
It almost looks like someone's just constantly moving down their limit order to sell, and they're just like constantly trying to get out.
Yep.
Or it's somebody that's like aggressively shorting it. I don't know, but sometimes you're in the reverse position and you can just picture yourself like as a beginner trader, somebody just trying to get out.
someone might have shorted, like someone bigger might have shorted from like 57, because I was watching this yesterday and I made 1,000 on it on like 250 share trades, which is awesome. I got some somewhere around here, sold into the push. I don't remember, but and then I went to the gym and I saw this rejection happen, and then it came back up, and then after this it was just dead. I'm guessing. So I don't really know, because like the other times that we have stuff like this move, like Lunar is a good example. We had one just the other week, didn't we? Like Lunar squeezed to 136. What was the one that squeezed to 260 like a week ago?
Not top, right?
Yeah, it was top.
Oh yeah, top. Good memory.
Yeah, 260 up here. So like I don't know who would have shorted this at 57, because the last couple of examples of this type of movement went to like 100 plus.
True.
Yeah.
But that's my guess, is somebody got a short here and they might be just recycling their position as it goes lower, and they're just trying to, they're just covering a small fraction, shorting a bigger fraction, covering a small fraction, shorting a bigger fraction, all the way back down. And it's someone with a lot of buying power, I guess.
Did you guys see what happened with the SEC on top?
They got frozen, right?
No, I'm pretty sure they took away gains from people that were trading it. Maybe it was Friday. It's one of these days. They said if you traded top from 9:30 to 10 o'clock or something like that, they negated all of your gains or losses.
What?
I think I might be wrong. I definitely saw Nate Mashad. He's the Investors Underground guy, and he had like a win on it, and it was taken out.
Good old government,
dude.
How do you account for that in your trading risk reward freaking equation?
Yeah,
that's a curveball. That's weird. I'd have to look into that. I know nothing about. I have not heard anything about that.
I hadn't either. I just saw that it was halted, frozen.
Yeah.
What was weird though was that announcement came out like here, that it was halted by the SEC, and then it kept trading for like 30 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like once top was like in its multi-day, I don't know, it was like its 6th day of just craziness. I just stopped touching it because
yeah,
I was kind of nervous there's going to be like a longer halt or something. Didn't want to tie up capital in a stock like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So pursuant rule 11890B NASDAQ on its own motion in conjunction with the NYSE exchanges has determined to cancel all trades in Security Top Financial Group Limited that were executed on the NASDAQ between 9:30 and 10:09 Eastern. And that was from Nate Mashad, who owns Investors Underground or whatever it is. That's so weird.
That is very unusual. I'm going to look into that, see if I can dig some more stuff out. I would like to see what I find. Maybe I'll use Bard, see if
Sure.
Bard does some research. Have you guys played around with the new Google AI?
I have, yeah.
No.
I like it.
It is cool. It's think ChatGPT, but with web search capabilities. So there's a lot more power to it. And I think you could even tell it like, hey, make an email for me and it'll go right into your Google, or like
That's
create
cool.
a calendar. So it already has integration to your Google, everything if you wanted to. So
That's like semi-terrifying.
it's semi-terrifying. Yeah, I mean, as long as it doesn't like, try to murder you in your sleep, which you'll know when you're sleeping, it's pretty cool, but it's terrifying. And I don't know how I feel about it.
Did you see how did you watch the All In pod?
I started watching it. I have yet to complete it. I'll probably watch it on the plane ride home, finish up the second half that I haven't got to.
They were talking about Google, and they were like, this is such an interesting, like, Google did not want to release this because, first of all, Bard negates Google. So it's like, if you have an AI that can search the internet for you, why would you need Google? And if Google made that, it's like, is that a good thing? And then at
Google
the
was
same
working
time,
on it, but they were keeping it on the back burner, like you're mentioning, and they did not want to release it. But now they kind of have to release it because they have to compete, and it's
yep.
That's classic Google though, just like fragmenting and cannibalizing their own products constantly.
Yeah, they
Classic Google.
It's funny when you go on Bard, it just says experiment like right on the top left, because it's like Google wants everyone to know, like, whenever you search something and the results are totally wrong, it's not Google that did it.
Which they are quite often. I know.
They're very wrong. Yeah.
David Sachs was also trying it out, and he was like, tell me my latest 5 articles, and they were just all wrong.
All wrong, all of them. Even yesterday, I asked it what the closing price of the SPY futures were, and it was wrong like 6 times. And I was like,
really?
I just would say there was like 4139, which is 10 points off of what it actually was. And I was like, that's not true. When are you saying the close is? And it's like 4 p.m. And then even then it was still 4149, not 4139. And I said the right answer is 4149, and they were like, oh, you're right, actually that is the right answer. And I was like, how are you?
I was watching this interview with Sam Altman, the founder of ChatGPT, and he also was like, with these AI models, like sometimes the most complicated thing it actually gets, and it's really impressive, but then like the most easy question,
yeah,
like 100 plus 100 or something, it actually gets wrong because, I don't know, he's like, somehow like the simple stuff in the back end is actually really complicated to solve.
It's like me with trading.
Yeah.
Over analytical, I overanalyze everything, and I end up taking all these weird trades that make no sense.
But like, yeah, you kind of have to go through that phase, especially if you're going sideways profit wise. It's like, that's not the worst thing. You just learn from it.
Yeah, treading water is okay as long as you're not.
Yeah.
Dude,
It kind of feels terrible
It feels
when you're
terrible.
in that position for a while and you're like, why can't I just figure out what's actually working?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, compared to many people who all they do is lose money, it's not that bad.
Yeah, for sure. There's many people that would look at a ranging P&L over like 6 months, and they'd be like, wow, I wish I could do that,
Yeah, for
sure.
Yeah, that's what Bellafiore always says, is like the first step is consistency, and then you work on sizing. But
and then you'll break out eventually. I think I was saying, like, here on last podcast or the last 10 on the before that, we all, and even Danny was saying it, like, we all know exactly what we need to do. Like, we all have the knowledge. And then it's just kind of the confidence and the execution is really just sometimes what is not so great, like for me today and yesterday, just because I was tired as hell.
Yeah.
What's actually interesting, I'm looking at my stats on TraderView. My entire year so far, January 1st till now, my accuracy across all of my trades, thousands of trades, is 50%. My accuracy in April, where no red days, 53%.
Crazy.
Not how I used to trade. I used to rely on 65, 70, 75% accuracy, but what I've gotten a lot better at in this market is getting in where I think is the right place to get in. If it doesn't work, I'm out immediately, small loss, which I take a lot of stabs, I guess. That's what I was trying to do today, was basically take less stabs.
Yeah.
My winners are like 2 or 3 times bigger than my losses. So that's why I'm doing well, even with the lower accuracy. Like today, 45% accuracy, but my profit factor is 1.84 across 46 trades. So like, that's a good stat.
Taking stabs today is kind of what burnt me, because my stabs were a little bit too aggressive. And then I had like, I was up 500, and then I just had like 3 $200 losers, and those were like my stabs. Like that is not okay for like a little dipping your toes in, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You got to be careful. Yeah, I mean, focusing on entries has really turned my trading around the last like 8 months, probably.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love watching your running P&L and just your progress.
Yeah,
well, I posted four trade recordings on my Instagram just this morning, so the last couple of days.
I'll check them out. I actually have to run.
I'm probably gonna get out and go to the gym.
I need to get out of here, bro.
I got stuff going on too, so might as well just hang it up early.
All right, sweet. Yeah, it'll be a short one, which is nice to have every now and then too. I know yesterday or last time we went pretty long, but it was a really good podcast.
Always good, yeah.
All right, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
Safe travels.
Take it easy. Yeah, safe travels.
Yep.
Thanks.
See you guys later.
See you,
Later,
everyone.
boys. See ya.
Ciao, ciao.
Peace.